Hey, what's up guys? So today is the end of an era and the beginning of a new promise. Today, sadly, I shut down the Red Sea Max E170, a tank I felt like I never enjoyed. It never reached its full potential, and it could have been because of me. But having this tank in my garage, being winter, I do not want to be stuck in the garage, especially it's cold. And I thought about my electric bill, and why not just downgrade and get a new aquarium where I could bring inside my house, enjoy, keep you guys posted and updated more often. Because being this tank in the garage cost me delaying on the videos and updates and actually getting new things for it. I thank you guys for clicking on this video, and I hope you guys stick around so that we could see what is the new promise of Twins Reef. Yes, I brought back the Peninsula drop-off tanks. I told myself I was gonna sell them, and I never did. They're just so nice tanks, and they don't sell these things anymore. So I was like, why not bring them back? Why not? And then I thought to myself, a good idea. Isn't this channel called Twins Reef? Why can't I have twin tanks and have a new episode, a new promise of weekly updates or bi-weekly updates, and introduce to you guys Twins Reef tanks? And we could say this is pre-episode number 1. As you guys can see, in today's video, I'm gonna tell you guys everything I did, not step by step, but some of the things that it came to have this tank established. So they are located different location of the house. I made sure I cleaned the tanks both with vinegar and let them dry. Try to clean them as good as I can, and then decide where I was gonna place the tanks and stuff like that. I also now began to actually make sure everything's leveled, or try to have everything level. I know it's a little bit hard, me living in an older home. That foundation isn't the great. That is one reason I had to take out the Red Seas tanks, because they were just larger tanks with more water volume, and each pound of water, each gallon of water, it's 8 pounds. So imagine, that's a lot to this old foundation. So not having smaller tanks, I think, will be best. And I just had to make sure that these tanks are leveled. That way I never come across any issues of these tanks cracking because of the pressure of the water to a certain point. So that is something, it took me a little bit of while to have everything leveled on the tank. And I did use these, I forgot what the name of these product, but you can find them at your local hardware store. They usually always, people use them to level their furniture or anything they need to have leveled in their homes. And hey, why not use it for my tank? They are just $2 and they come in handy. And to be honest guys, that is what I use for my Red Seas. It always worked for me. It never caused no issues. And even at the garage didn't have like the best leveled concrete. It's like the ugliest, and it still did the job. And to this day, my freshwater tank still is using these. So yeah, make sure your tanks are leveled, and I think you can get away with it a little bit, a slight off the level if you have smaller tanks. Now if you have bigger aquariums, you definitely need to make sure your tanks are leveled, because larger the tank, the more possibilities you have of cracking or anything. And yes, the tank is now leveled, so that is really good. Now the next thing that I had to do, I went with Carib Sea Live Sand, and this is the Reef Sand, special grade sand. I never would have thought I was gonna like this sand. I've always used Fiji Pink in the past 3 to 4 years of keeping reef tanks. And just a year ago, or not even a year ago, a couple months ago, I decided to try Reef Sand, and guys, it didn't disappoint. I love it more. I'm surprised that I never used it before, but I highly recommend the Reef Sand, special grade Reef Sand by Curve C. If you guys want to have a lot of flow, or if you guys are tired of losing your frags, your corals, because of your snails or hermits or whatever the case may be, of your tank, of your corals being lost. It has happened with me before with jawbreaker mushrooms and other type of mushrooms, and some zoanthids. They just got buried in the sand and I never saw them again. That's why this time I decided to go with a bigger grand size for the sand, a sand that it's not going to be disturbed that easily with water flow or with the critters of the cleanup crew. And I know there's some people that fill up their tanks first and then put the sand. Me, I'm the opposite, so I don't know if the sand is even considered live once I put the water, because as you guys can see, it gets exposed to the air for a long period of time. But I just think it's easier for me to add the sand and then start doing the rockscape. I just think it's a little bit harder once the water is there, and once you add the water, then the sand, your water gets all cloudy, and then you have to wait sometimes even a day or two for that water to get clear, and I have no patience for that. This is something that always for me takes the longest, and that is doing the rockscapes. I've came across a lot of other videos and people's opinions that, hey, the rockscape doesn't even matter, because at the end of the day, your corals are gonna be above them, and that's what's gonna make your tank stand out and look great. And that is true, but just me, everything needs to look good, from the tanks themselves to the sand to the rocks. Everything must be presentable, and that is something that I dealt with a lot, and this whole time of me reef keeping, and not just from this video that I'm making. I still had to adjust more the rockscape, because I didn't really ended up liking how both of the rockscapes ended up being on both aquariums. But after the water cleared, after I added the water, I actually readjusted the rockscape, and I'm really excited to show you guys those tanks. And yes, they are the tanks behind me, so that is gonna be for the next episode. But just on today's episode, I just wanted to let you guys know I've been just so, what's that word I'm looking for, so lazy. I've been lagging on uploading content to my channel. I had the videos already pre-made, but I just want to push this out because I'm super excited to give you guys an update on both of my aquariums, the equipment I'm using, the lights, everything. I just want to keep making more videos and videos regarding this tank, and fall in love with this hobby even more. Because to be honest, having the tanks in the garage, I'm not there. If I'm there, it's 5 minutes just to feed the fish, clean the tanks, and then I'm out. That's it. Now the tank being inside the house, I enjoy them more, I see them more, and if anything ever goes bad, then I could look at them. So yeah, as you guys can see, I fill up the tanks with water, and I just dropped all the corals there. It looked super ugly and cloudy, and as you guys can see, the drop-off peninsula to the left has an AI prime with the 3D cover for the prime, the diffuser. And the benefit for me of it is not to allow that much light to come out the room. And when I made this video, guys, the tank to the right was still not set up, not even in this day. It took me, I think, a day or two to set up the other tank, and that is because it was already night. And sometimes I think setting up a tank is an hour, but sometimes it could take even 3 hours or 2 to 3 hours. So I was just taking my time, I didn't want to rush anything, and just want to make sure each tank is set up properly, and I feel like I'm doing the right thing, and I did the right thing. So on today's episode, guys, it's just to let you guys know, we shut down the Red Sea Max E170. We set up both of the Peninsula drop-off tanks made by Innovative Marine, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. Next episode will be the update on both of these tanks, and we'll talk a little bit more what's going on, what type of coral, what type of equipment, like I said, and everything that's been going on with me and my channel. Till next time, guys, I am out. Peace.